Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We have finally reached the Call of Duty Zombies mobile world records, but this isn't the COD mobile that just released a week ago. No, I'm talking about the World of War and Black Ops versions released nearly a decade ago. Funnily enough though, you can't actually purchase the World of War version anymore. It was removed from the App Store and the Play Store a few years ago now actually, but in celebration of us finally being here, let's try to get 1.5 million likes on this video and make sure to follow your boy on Instagram at I'mRushin8703. But only do it if you want to see my cute ass face and what videos I'm working on. But you know what, we have a lot of maps to go through today, so let's get right into them. So we're going to be starting off with Nach Der Toten with a world record of 522 by Lieutenant Nightwolf. There isn't actually too much footage of this game to show off, but from what I can assume, his strategy was just to run circles in the box room and keep the door to spawn closed and would kill zombies using the flamethrower. Now zombies on this game don't actually move very quickly, so even though this would be a really bad strategy on all of the console versions of World of War, it wasn't actually that hard on mobile from what I can assume from his game. And round 522 is still round 522, and that is damn impressive. Even if there is only 24 zombies around, he's still playing on a mobile game. And moving into the next map, we have Verruckt with a world record of 116 by Ryan. I do want to apologize for the quality of some of these videos. I know they're terrible, but most of these videos were made 9 years ago before screen recording was very popular or there's even apps for it. Aside from that though, I'm not sure how he actually got this far, to be honest with you. It looks like somehow he was able to kill zombies with the MP40 and run around the map turning traps on whenever he needed, but it doesn't really look like he actually knew what he was doing. Maybe the footage was too short for me to figure out exactly how he got to where he was, but you know, with there only being 24 zombies around and him only having 2200 kills on round 116, I guess that really tells you the state of like how zombies was and how easy this really was to get to. But again, I'm just assuming his strategy of just running around the map and then is ending up in the room next to spawn, but I don't really know what else there is to say because it just looks like he's running around like kind of a headless chicken. But with that said, we will be moving into Shino Numa, and the world record for this map is round 176 by the Smegad, which is probably one of the most confusing names I've ever had to read. But this one once again was a little bit different to the usual high round strategy that you see on the console versions of this game. His strategy was to run around in the main building a little bit and then run out to the flogger trap and use the Wunderwaffe. According to his very interesting description, by the way, it took him about 80 shots of the ray gun to kill the last zombie, which I mean is just thank you Kanye, very cool. But something that I've noticed across all these games is that no one gives a single shit about how much ammo they use. And I mean literally no one. I've seen players use Wunderwaffe shots on one zombie at a time, and I'm not even kidding you. But maybe that's just a sign of how old some of these games were, was where the strategies weren't developed enough, where conserving ammo was really a necessity. It's either that or they just really didn't care. I'm not actually too sure. But now with that being said, let's move into Darius. And this is by far the highest round on World at War Zombies, with that being round 1004 by H Factor 66, which actually blew me away, to be honest. This guy had 27,000 kills, which even in a regular game of zombies is a lot, but on mobile, holy crap, that is something. And another thing I want to say, and I could be wrong, so correct me, is that there's only 24 zombies per round on this version of Darius. But on the console version of Darius, this was the only map on World of War that did not have 24 zombies around, but his basic strategy was to start the round off near the power switch and place down some bouncing betties and then run back into the building with the catwalk and train in the bottom of there. He would use the Wunderwaffe and the flamethrower whenever he ran out of ammo or an insta-kill showed up. That does wrap up World of War though. I tried to move through these fairly quickly because there wasn't much to say about most of these records. The players themselves didn't give very much of a description and there wasn't very much gameplay for most of them, so I just kind of had to assume what they were doing. But now we can also start off Black Ops with one of the most famous YouTube videos of zombies ever made, and by one of the most famous zombies YouTubers ever made, with a Nach Der Toten round 1337 by the relaxing end. Oh wait, I'm actually kidding. The real world record for Nach Der Toten is round 4321 by once again H Factor 66. This one was a confusing one to find because originally I actually thought that this was again another relaxing end world record, because why wouldn't it be? It's one of the most famous records that's ever been made, but I couldn't actually find any footage even close to his round, so I just assumed that it was the world record. But then out of curiosity, I started looking around H Factor's channel and all of a sudden I found around 1,338. So I was like, wait, what? So I rescripted this video and then I found around 1,600 on his channel and I was like, okay, well I gotta do that again. Then I found around 2,000. And eventually I started to find even higher rounds than that, and eventually the highest that I could find on his channel was around 4,321 like in this video. So this was just an absolute mess to get through. And even on top of that, he actually made a video about someone who apparently got to around 5,000, but when I looked up that video, I couldn't find it. There was a YouTube video saying that there was a link in the description for it, but that video had 6 views, and guess what? In the description, there was no link. But still though, round 4,321 is definitely something. From what H Factor was saying, this game took him about 5 weeks to get through, which I mean, yeah, I would assume so, because even though there's only about 50 zombies per round, which is pretty reasonable, that would still take a long time. But his basic strategy was to start off in the spawn room in the start of the round, and then run into the room next to the spawn room where the fire trap is, turn the fire trap on, run through it over to the window, and then just keep it boarded up until the fire trap is over. Then he would run back into the spawn room, train around there a little bit until the fire trap is done, or until he has enough zombies hoarded up where he can use the thunder gun and end off the round, and bada bang bada boom, that's you through the round. Again, I do want to apologize though for the way that this video looks. I don't know what the hell happened to this game or why it looks silver. Maybe that's just a side effect of what actually happened to his game after it being open for so long, but I know that this is legit because he actually does have footage of a lot of these other games. But yeah, this one is just giving me an absolute headache, so let's try to move on to the next map. And the next map that we are going to be going into is one that I didn't even know actually existed, and that is Dead Ops Arcade, which like I said, I had no idea this was even on mobile. I have no idea what round this guy got to, but it was the highest one that I could find, and he had like, I don't know, 700,000 points, but I just wanted to show it off because I didn't know it existed. You guys probably didn't either, but let's move on. And now we can move into Ascension, and I'm really starting to wonder here, is it common practice among iOS players to never actually record your games, but instead just to take screenshots and badly edit them together in Windows Movie Maker? Before I get too mad though, this is the Ascension world record of round 320 by just a quad. He claims that it's actually the second highest round in the world, but I can't find the other footage, so you know what, he wins because at least I can find your video, dude. The way he was able to achieve this round though was he would train in the room below Juggernog and then run through the spawn door and kill the zombies in there with the thunder gun. There's quite a lot of space for him to run around with, and because of the traps, the thunder gun, and Gersh devices, this seems like a really easy high round actually. And from what I was able to see of just the general high round games of Ascension on mobile, a lot of people claimed it was way too easy, so I'm surprised the record isn't actually way higher than this, but you know what, whatever. And we're finally into our last map for today, being Call of the Dead with a record of round 200 by Brad Asbury, but I'm not going to be showing his footage because it is somehow worse than everything else that I've shown today, so I'll be showing part of a round 125 game by Delight. The strategy is basically the same as console, where you train at the bottom of the lighthouse, but because the zombies have such low health, you can actually kill them with the upgraded AK-74U, and you have the VR-11 to kill the last few zombies in the horde. This is a pretty uneventful game actually, but because you don't want George around because you can't complete the Easter egg on this map and get the Wonder Waff from killing him, you don't even want to have him around, so you shoot him with the upgraded VR-11 to have him go back into the water. But that does just about wrap things up though for all of the mobile world records on Call of Duty Zombies. Once Call of Duty Mobile, the new one, actually releases zombies, I'm going to be making a lot of videos on that, believe me, but I still have more world record videos to make, so stick around for those. I do appreciate so much all the support that you guys have been giving me on the last bunch of videos. You guys have absolutely blown my mind. Again, let's try to get 1.5 million likes on this video. I know that we can do it. I'm just kidding, we're not going to get there, but make sure while you're down there, comment what you think the most impressive round is. While you're down there, I would appreciate a subscribe, turn on notifications. Anyway, I love you. Peace.